Hello, TED class. For this random subject, I will be discussing my Aries project, my topics, and what research I've done, and what research I still have to conduct, unfortunately. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. I'll be reading out of my Aries book, just reading my notes and sharing with you all what this means. So, first of all, my topic and interest for my Aries is the topic of concealed carry. It's focused on the perceptions of concealed carry and how they are influenced. Especially considering my research question, how are envious students' perceptions on gun laws influenced? This really stems from last year. I noticed we did a lot of walkouts and decided that, hey, why not do a project on something everyone finds controversial, everyone finds interesting, and really gets people's thoughts going. So my essential questions I will be meaning to ask for this project include, obviously, how are people's perceptions influenced, but also why are people supportive or so unsupportive, is really what I saw here, especially of firearms or weapons, as many people love to call them. Really, I feel this really pushes the boundaries of what people know, especially here, or for people my age who aren't necessarily that old yet. This is really this is a very controversial, very social, personal issue to a lot of people, but also wanting to integrate this into a community, especially like a school area like I am in now. This will help understand how people, especially my age or maybe a bit younger, come into conclusions when talking about this topic and other topics like this. This is not limited to guns, but really to any controversial topic. It's just that for my areas, I need to center really on firearms and concealed carry. I feel this is also a bit unique as it deals with really a long-term issue it's been an issue for a very long time now. It doesn't seem to be going away. It seems every other week at least, there's always some new happening or some tragic event that has occurred, especially when relating to firearms, that really spurs people's debate over what is going on. And I'm not talking about in a politic area. I don't want to get into that. It's really the talk on what needs to be done. So I've been here at this school for only a bit, and already I've realized how serious an issue it is for the kids going here. And so that's really what spurred me on to do this. Really, I'm just trying to expand my own. I still have a bit to learn about gun control. Really, I had, especially at the beginning of this project during the summer. I was still reading about stuff like this. I still am reading. I always look at the news. I always try to find new sources that will really help papers that I turn in for the project in class, but also I would like to be conducting surveys and interviews, which I'll get to later. So I really want to expand not only my own, but other students' realizations, and also through being a compassionate global citizen, as a few of my peers have taught me how to do. Really, you don't want to force things on other people. You don't want to force them to realize that this is how it is and that your opinion is not relevant. I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to be compassionate, show people what reality really can be, and hopefully that can help. I wouldn't say deter, but I guess I'll just say have a positive influence on people's extreme thinking when it comes to this, whether it doesn't matter what side they're on. This will stem into field work, a lot of which I still have yet to do. I would really, starting with a survey, and before anyone says, oh God, another survey, that's not what I'm relying on. Surveys are not to be relied on. I learned that from last year. And so really I would like to do only just one survey and then take people from around the whole line from different spaces on it. Say there's here there's people who are very far right, as in very supportive. There's the middle ground, and then there's the very against it, which is, I've seen a lot of that at this school. So that's I mean, me personally, I will say yes, I am supportive of firearms. I just wanted to understand what really influences that, and also doing interviews because I feel like it's a very personal connection than a survey. And then further, I've done counseling, so psychiatrist, psychologies. I've worked with that for a long time. I've done counseling all my life, and I've learned a lot from that. I've had a few different people, and I still am in connection with two of them. And so that was another thing. If really outside of school wise, I was going to go schedule a talk, but not like a counseling session, but really more of an interview about how kids, especially my age, and how I made my own conclusions. But we're not going to get into this. So really, that's stemming the whole how do people make conclusions about any topic, not just this. So, so my reflection upon this is, I feel I've had a pretty good idea for some time in comparison to, I'm not going to say everyone, but I've noticed that a lot of people were a bit, where I was sure about what I was doing. There are people who are still a bit more focused on a much more broad spectrum. Um, I feel each of my sources, at least most of my sources, are providing valuable information that I can really use for my that I used already for my paper that I can also continue to use for research um, when asking questions, especially. Um, I haven't really reached a struggling point yet. I would say my own struggling point is my own sort of procrastination. I've always dealt with that, um, but that shouldn't prove too much of a problem in the long run. I mean, it can, but it won't. Trust me. Um, and well, from the thesis already made, I just like to state that I feel MBA students, like all people, make conclusions based on their surroundings or experiences. Influence itself is often spurred by this. It's not spurred by people conducting research. It's spurred by what happens around you, what you see, what you can think up because of this. And a big contributor to that is media, basic media. That's where anyone gets their ideas from. That's where anyone can get their ideas from. Is what I'm saying. And this can easily make one to jump to conclusions. I mean, I'm even prone to that, and I'm researching this. I mean, and this can actually have a negative effect, in my opinion, as it kind of deters people from really thinking about what the situation, all aspects of the situation, rather than just what is said on TV or what they read or what they see or told by peers. And by conducting this, I can actually show people a positive insight of what it's like to do research and show what the full picture is. So yeah, that's really where my Aries project sits, and that was my random topic for this class. And I'll be seeing you all later.